We put a label to it, critical race theory. Actually, they put a label to it in the 1990s. We just appropriated it. There's these like very kind of pathetic and very, angry graduate students that try to fight me on these highly technical, Hegel interpretations. And it's like, I don't have time for this. I don't give a about this stuff.
If you or a loved one were denied a job, raise, promotion, or professional opportunity as a result of diversity quotas, equity mandates, affirmative action, or other racial preferences, we want to hear from you.
Right-wing ghouls, activists Christopher Rufo, Stephen Miller, and Ed Blum have made a name for themselves attacking affirmative action and DEI programs in the hopes of reinstating the policies, laws, and cultural norms that sustained Jim Crow at every level of society. Now, have you ever wondered where these guys are getting all the money to file lawsuits against groups that give money or opportunities to, say, black farmers or black women entrepreneurs? Well, you're not alone. Color of Change, a civil rights advocacy organization, wondered too. And they are now launching a petition against corporate charities that provide funding to these right-wing crusades. And some of these charities will sound very familiar to you. Joining me now is Rashad Robinson, president of Color and Change, and my friend. Rashad, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Who are these companies funding these guys?
They are the Goldman Sachs. They are Fidelity. They're Vanguard. They are some of the biggest organizations that have donor-advised funds where they sort of collect money from donors. With the Goldman situation, it's actually Goldman employees. And they have final say at Goldman around where the money goes. So while Goldman Sachs is making these statements about diversity, taking out ads, making claims about their support for black Americans, they are then going and giving money to the people that are trying to make those very donations illegal. It's the kind of ultimate trick bag. It's like it's almost like they feel like they're forced into doing something good,
right?
Forced into supporting diversity because they may not actually believe in it.
Right.
And then with the other hand, they're giving money to these folks that want to make it illegal. So eventually, when it's possibly illegal, they can say, well,
we can't do it.
We can't do it anymore. We can't actually give the money. And then they can go back to having C-suites that are basically all white. They can go back to having corporate practices and structures that don't actually move resources to communities. And all of the sort of diversity was, kind of play.
Yeah. Well, all white and all male, because they keep forgetting DEI positions are mostly white women, as is affirmative action, mostly 100%. Helps white women. So you've got Goldman Sachs claiming, basically they're the spokesperson who responded to Forbes, which did a little digging on what you guys are doing and what these donor-advised funds are doing. Their response was, we can't police the politics and ideology of our workforce. Okay, but after October 7th, what happened in Hamas, with Hamas and Israel, they barred donation to something called the People's Forum, which is an organization that supports campus protests against Israeli military actions in Gaza. So when it comes to Gaza, they have policed what they're
And when it comes to other issues over time, they police. There's all sorts of ways that when a corporation says they don't tell their employees what they can and can't do, don't believe them, because it's just simply not true, and it doesn't pass the test. What we are seeing from these companies is them sort of scrambling. We, with all of our corporate campaigns, we reach out first.
Yeah.
So we sent letters to these companies. We got on the calls. We even had a conversation. Our staff had a conversation with Goldman Sachs where they said to us, well, we give a lot of money to black women. And we're giving money to these black women groups.
Well, wait a minute. Ed Blum would literally say, well, then I'm going to sue those black women. I'm going to
sue those and I'm going to, make it impossible for those black women organizations to do their work. But it's also this idea that an organization working on behalf of black women is the other side of neo-segregationist. That there's, two sides to this debate. On one hand, I'm going to give money to black women. On the other hand, we're going to give money to these people that actually want to close the door to education opportunities, close the door to government contracts, close the door to employment, and rip us back to a time when opportunity simply didn't exist.
And you call them neo-segregationists, and I want to just have you drill down on that a little bit, because it is a new way of describing what the Ed Blums and what the Christopher Rufos and what the creepy Stephen Millers are. Why do you use that term?
Because by closing the door to opportunity, basically turning back the hand of time to where cultural norms and legal practices created segregation, segregation, the laws that sort of pushed us forward, by making that work illegal, they are taking us back to segregation. So they are the new segregationists. They are the segregation of the time. And if you listen to their rhetoric, and if you listen to what their sort of larger intentions are, they both believe that the era and the times when every position of power was dominated by white men was about people.
It was the true American era.
It was the true American era, but it was also about the quality and merit, right, of those folks, not about the rules and the infrastructure that drove people to not being able to participate. And so for us at Color of Change, we recognize that we have to hold corporations accountable.
Absolutely.
The rules and the laws that we get are a result of a whole set of factors, and part of that is the way that corporations engage.
And by the way, the fact that these neo-segregationists are using the 1866 Civil Rights Act, the Klan Act, and using it against black people is something. It's nasty work. You can go on colorofchange.org, I'm assuming.
Absolutely.
If you want to learn more, you should learn more about this. Rashad Robinson, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Much appreciated.